Okay, so I have your Notes on Black Holes document that's located in the Reference Files folder of your project files, as well as the 02_begin text file in your notepad files in your project files. So you'll want to have both of those open for this lesson. Now, this Word document is simply the script that we're going to be using to create this motion graphics piece. And then our notepad is going to be what we use to write down what assets we need based on the script. So let's start looking through our script and figuring out what we need to make this video. So the very first line is black holes. How do they work? So that's going to be pretty much our title. And I want this to have kind of a little bit of a retro feel to it, kind of take it back to that first age of exploration of space. So let's go ahead and maybe have this be on like a little banner or something like that. So I'll just come over to my notepad and we'll type in banner title for black hole. And then underneath that, we can just type the text right in After Effects. So we don't actually need an asset created for that part, for the how do they work. Okay, so then let's move down to our next line. Black holes are left behind when huge stars die. So that's going to be something that we want to start out by telling this as a story. If black holes are left behind when huge stars die, that means we first need to show a star. Now, after that, it says stars are fusion reactors, which have gravity fields that are constantly trying to collapse the star. So we need to say, first, here's a star and here's how it's working. So we need a star, probably one that has moving parts, because we want to show that the star is a fusion reactor. So a star that has energy and that has something that represents a gravity field around it. So we need to create an asset that's a simplification of that idea. The next part says, because of the fusion reaction constantly pushing out inside the star, balance between the pushing out and pulling in occurs. So we can just show the animation that we make for the star with the moving parts to show that. Now, here's the interesting part. When the star dies, the fusion reaction in the star's core quits reacting because of a lack of fuel. So we can show some kind of a reaction there, or an explosion, something like that. The gravity is then being less and less balanced as the core burns out, and eventually a supernova explosion is created because of the heat caused by the core's compression from gravity. So there's where we want a supernova. We want something that shows that the star has blown up and now it's a supernova instead. So let's add supernova to our list. Then it says only the gravity and the core remain. We can show that simply through text. This combination has a strong gravitational pull that not even light can escape. Also, that can be shown through text. This creates a black hole. So we need something for a black hole. And I want to show, if you've ever seen an illustration of a black hole, from the top, they basically look like kind of a swirling hole. But from the side, if you see some kind of an artist rendering for how these actually works, it's almost like a tornado kind of a thing from the side. So we need to have a black hole top and side view. Okay, the next thing, let's kind of move on down here. This creates a black hole. The core then becomes part of the black hole called the singularity. So we want to make sure that the black hole contains a singularity in the middle. The opening of the hole is the event horizon. So that's going to be kind of the outside edge of that hole. If you make it to the event horizon, you're gone forever. We can show that with text. But we want to also demonstrate that. So maybe we can have some things going into the black hole. So this will be kind of a fun part. Let's say maybe we have a little astronaut that gets sucked into the black hole. And then maybe some household things that really also help to show that this is kind of a retro styled video. So maybe some things from that time period, like a toaster, a TV, maybe kind of a little retro TV, something like the Jetsons. And then maybe we can also show a satellite, so something that you already would associate with being in outer space. Okay, so these are the things that we need. Now, a lot of these things we'll be able to create. You can create them yourself, or you can hand this list off to somebody else. Something that you can do whenever you're creating something like this is to also have a pointer of some sort. So if it's a dotted line, a dotted circle, a straight line, maybe with another little circle on the end, something that you can reuse to point out different parts. So where it says the core then becomes part of the black hole called the singularity, we might want to point to the singularity and show that that core is now the singularity. So let's also add to our list a pointer with an object that can point and circle things. So that's going to really help out with that. Okay, so we've got our banner title for the black hole, our star with moving parts, our supernova. I want the supernova to have moving parts as well. The black hole top and side view, the pointer with an object that can point and circle things, an astronaut, a toaster, a TV, and a satellite. So this is going to be plenty of assets for us. We just need them to be robust enough that we can animate and work with them to demonstrate what's going on to explain this topic of black holes. So we're going to be not using a script where someone is reading this. We're simply going to have a video that you might later put music with or something, but it's all demonstrated visually by what's happening with these assets, and also by putting some of this text on the screen to demonstrate those call outs. So let's move on to our next lesson, where we're actually going to skip the actual illustration part because some of you might not be illustrators. You might not want to make those yourself. We'll already have them illustrated, so you may even work in an environment where you can just hand this list off to another artist. They'll make these things for you, and then you need to be able to get them into After Effects. So our next lesson is going to be talking about how to get these images all in one Illustrator document over to After Effects the most efficiently, and to give you the most control for animating them once they're in After Effects. So stick around, and we'll be splitting the vector assets up for easy